Hello, my relatives. Welcome to New Mooncraft, September 2020. My name's Raven. Today I want to talk to you about the Lakota creation story. 2020 has been a really crazy year. There's a lot of stuff going on. There's a lot of natural disasters. And this story, I find, has a lot of connection to what is going on now. So I would like to share this story with you. We as Lakota people refer to an entity called Ea. And Ea was a power, was so powerful, a massive power, that nothing could exist except for Ea. And Ea took a part of itself, and it began forming an orb. And it just kept squeezing and squeezing and squeezing and squeezing tighter and tighter, until what sprang forth from that mass looked like its blue blood, and it left a half-brittle body mass that we call Makah, or Earth. And the Earth, Makah, existed for a long time in darkness, questioning its purpose. Why am I here? What am I here for? And Makah went to Ea and said, why am I here? Give me a purpose. And so Ea took from itself other parts of itself and created Ampewe, the sun, Hahewe, the moon, Wichaxpi Oyate, the star nation, and it set everything in correlation with itself. And life went on. And after a time, Makah went to Ea to complain. Makah said, when I turn to Ampewe, when I'm looking at the sun, it becomes hot, almost unbearable. And when I turn to Hawewi, the moon, it becomes cold, becomes restless. Would you give me a covering? And so Ea, within counsel with the other entities of itself, came forth, and they told Makah, if we give you a covering, you must promise to bring life forth and to nourish it. And sprang up all of the plants and the trees, all of the grasses. And life went on. And after a while, life on Makah became very corrupt, became very dark. We were taking too much that we didn't need, we weren't giving back. And Makah said, this is not the way that life is intended to be upon me. I must cleanse. So imagine fires, volcanic eruptions, falling stars, earthquakes, hurricanes, tornadoes, all of this happening at once, and just this constant shaking and shaking, and Makah shaking so hard that the one landmass split into several. That one landmass split into the different continents, into the different people. And for a time, there was peace, and life went on. And again, life became overbearing, and Makah said, I have to cleanse again. This is not the way life is intended to be upon me. So Makah told the people, those of you who are keeping the ways of life that are supposed to be on me, those of you who are keeping these covenants, come deep down, come way deep down inside me, so that I may protect you. And once again, Makah sent forth these disasters, this time in the form of the Ice Age. And after a time when the ice retreated, left beautiful lakes and rivers and streams, water everywhere. And we talk about a sacred area, Hehasapa, the Black Hills. This is where the Lakota people believe we come from. And one day, Iktomi, the trickster spirit in our culture, he was walking around in the Black Hills, and he heard a breathing Now this at the time was a land of giants, it was a land of bears, it was a land of massive creatures. And Iktomi, not wanting to be crushed, ducked into the weeds, and he was hiding there. And he could still hear this breathing, but he didn't hear any thrashing. There was no movement in the brush. And so Iktomi, being naturally curious, stepped forth, and he found a small opening into the earth, and he looked way, 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 way down in there, and he saw the people living down there. Then he said to them, "Hey, come up here, come up here. I want to show you something. I want to show you something. Come up here." And the people said, "No, Iktomi, we're not going up there. We don't know what's up there. We're not going up there." But one brave young man said, "I will go see. I will go look. I will go see." We call him Tokahe, which means the very first. He was the first one to come back up to the surface, the very first. And he came up to the surface and he walked with Iktomi, and Iktomi said, Look at everything that's around you. Look at these beautiful rivers. Drink that, taste that. Try these berries. Do you feel that wind on your face? Do you feel the sun? Go down and tell your people to come up here. I'm going to go find my friend, and we are going to prepare a great feast for you. Go down and get your people. So Tokahe, he goes back down, and he tells the people of these wonderful things he's seen, all of these wonderful, beautiful things he's seen. We must get ready to go, he says. But there is an elder in that group, and the elder says, Tokahe, you don't know. There's danger up there. There's danger. Tokahe says, "No, you're old. You don't know what you're talking about. I've seen it. I've seen it all. There's no danger." And the old man says, he's being very foolish. And the old man knows that he must make preparations. So he sneaks away from the group. And he goes up there. And when he leaves that entrance, when he leaves that cave, he becomes the Buffalo Nation. And the people come up. And they come up and they come out of that opening. And they see this beauty. They are eating, they're enjoying life, they're swimming in the creeks and in the lakes, they're enjoying the beauty, they're bathing in the sun. And approaches Iktomi with his friend Inagitu, the two-faced woman. And she's very beautiful on one side, and she will only show the people the one side of her. And she's serving them, and they're feeding them, and they're giving them water, and they're talking to them about the beauty that is around them. And when the people are comfortable again, when they think that they're finally happy, they're resting, Inagitu turns, and she shows them that ugly side of herself, that darkness. And it scares the people, and they go running back toward the hole. They go running back down to go way back down in there. But they don't fit anymore. Their bodies have grown. All the air they breathed in, all the water they drank, all the food they ate, and they could not go back down. And Iktomi, with him being a trickster, when he hurts the people, when he sees the people hurt themselves, when he's tricked them, he laughs. He laughs. Sorry, excuse me for just one moment. He's laughing and he's laughing. And him and Inagitu, they leave because, they've done their job. The people are trapped on the surface. They're trapped up there. Now they're stuck. They can't go back down into that hole. They can't go back down into that place of spirit. They're stuck here. And the people begin to adapt. Buffalo Nation steps forth and says, "We are here for you. We will be your food. We will be your shelter. We will be your medicine. You will follow us, and we will provide for you." And for a time, life goes on. But again, the people start being corrupted. They start taking too much. They start taking with not giving. They're tearing up the roots of plants without thought of reharvest. They're just taking and taking. And the animal nation, the winged nation, said, it is because of these two-leggeds that Makah has been forced to cleanse twice. They cut off communication with us. And they got together and they said, it's very easy what we have to do. We can very easily get rid of these two-leggeds. We can create disease. We can create virus. And we can send them to these two-leggeds, and they won't be anymore. But beneath them, the plant nation, with tobacco at the head of its council, said, this is not the way. They do not get, the bird nation and the four-leggeds do not get to decide how this is supposed to go. So for every disease they send forth, for every sickness they send forth, we will send forth a cure, a root, a stem, a leaf, a bark. And so things began again to be in balance and in correlation. And after a time, yet again, life began to become corrupted. Again, taking too much without giving back. No connection to the universe. There's no connection. And so Ea stepped in. And Ea, in council with the winged nation and the four-leggeds and the creepy crawlies, came together and said, what are we going to do about these two-leggeds? They've become too corrupt time and time again. What are we going to do? Oh, Buffalo Nation, Buffalo Nation, come here. You said you would be responsible for these two-leggeds. What are you going to do? And Buffalo Nation said, we'll take care of it. We'll take care of it. And they said, no, how, Buffalo Nation? You can't go to these people. They're too corrupt. They're too greedy. They will eat you. They will kill you. How are you going to do that? And Buffalo Nation sent us the white buffalo calf woman, who brought us the sacred pipe, which was to show that what happens here happens in the stars. And what happens in the stars happens here. And to remind us that all things must live in correlation with each other. They must live in harmony, because there is a connection from here to the stars, and from the stars to here. Everything is in correlation. Everything is naturally meant to exist in harmony. And so Buffalo Nation sent us the white buffalo calf woman. And that again has restored some sort of harmony, because it brought us those teachings. I will get into the white buffalo calf story on another lesson, because that is also a very involved story. I thank you for joining me for this Mooncraft. I hope you appreciated the story. I'm seeing a lot of natural disasters and a lot of things going on, and I'm seeing a lot of disharmony even between other humans. So I wanted to share that story with you, and I would ask you if you would take 5 minutes at some point in your evening or your day. Go outside. Sit up against a tree, lay down in the grass, and just feel that energy of connectedness. Know that when you breathe out, the tree is breathing in you. And when the tree is breathing out, you are breathing that into yourself. There is oneness, there is breath there. There is prayer and symbiosis between the two. When you're laying in that grass, know that at some point you were that grass, and you will become it again, and feel that connection. Feel that connection, and consciously ask yourself, am I living in correlation with those things around me? Am I living in harmony with those things around me? Thank you all, and have a beautiful night.